How the devil are we? I'm Matt, and on a very hot day in the UK, it's about 29 degrees at the moment, I'm looking at the coldest place on Earth that is inhabited by humans, and I am probably going to be really envious right now, because it's hot. I might have mentioned it. Let's have a look.
I've just returned from a place so piercingly cold, it gives me the shivers just thinking about it. It's not Antarctica, or even the top of Mount Everest. No, it's actually a tiny village in central Siberia. In Oymyakon, it's so cold your eyelashes freeze together, and you're constantly on guard against frostbite. If it's warmer than minus 55 degrees Celsius, then it's a good day. So rug up as we venture to the coldest town in the world.
Rug up? Rug up? It must be an Australian term.
The icy journey to Oymyakon is a long, treacherous drive.
Yeah, it's treacherous, so let's do about 100 miles an hour.
Across Siberia, with the temperature plummeting by the hour. It takes 2 days and nights on roads as slippery as glass.
To slow down.
Inevitably, one of our backup vehicles came to grief along the way.
There's something terribly haunting about this road to Oymyakon. It was built in the times of that dreadful tyrant Joseph Stalin to link a series of gulags or prison camps. The political prisoners were used as unpaid labour. Indeed, they were used to death, collapsing from exposure at the horrific rate of 1 every metre. Now think about that. That's 1 dead, 2 dead, 3 dead, and so the death.
Jesus. I can't even imagine having to be forced into work in those conditions till you die. I mean, I'm making light of it now. Not light of that situation, but I'm, referring to our own government trying to make people live till they die. You don't get a pension anymore, and you certainly don't get retirement.
And misery continued for 1,200 kilometres. More than 1 million people died constructing this. Little wonder they call it the Road of Bones.
1 million people?
Each time a person died, they just left them on the road and incorporated their bones into the aggregate.
What, just bulldozed them into the surface?
So quite literally, the Road of Bones.
Jesus Christ.
Highly qualified in extreme environments. Nick Middleton, a travel writer and geographer from Oxford University.
Most of the slave labour wouldn't have been kitted out like we are, and they just literally worked them to death.
So in reality, for the last 2 days, we've been driving across 1 million people.
It's a thought, isn't it? And it's true.
I can't imagine, 1 million people along that stretch just dead and ground into the earth. Where's bloody ghost hunters when you want them? Check that place out. Surely, because if they exist, that's the place to look.
To get to the coldest town on Earth, we cross 2 frozen
How fast they're going?
rivers, climb a mountain range, and traverse endless forests to a remote speck on the map, smack bang in the middle of Siberia.
Not a place I'd want to visit, if I'm honest.
Finally,
I mean, I would. If I was given the opportunity and someone said, we're going to give you a chance to go and visit the middle of Siberia, you're going to be kitted out with clothing, you're going to be able to ride on snowmobiles and things, probably do it.
our destination, Oymyakon, population 547.
Here we are, at last. Prepare yourself for the big freeze.
First stop is the town square, a small monument to honour the man who recorded the record low.
This is the temperature, minus 71.2. That's the coldest ever recorded in an inhabited town.
I take it this is the fellow who
This is the guy
Ming the Merciless.
did the recording.
who took the readings. His name's Obachev. He was a geographer, explorer, writer, and he recorded the temperature in the 1920s.
And he was freezing.
Yeah, he was.
It's hard to describe the intensity of the cold, except to say that your freezer at home runs at minus 18 degrees. And when we drove into town, it was minus 45. Although the town's mayor thought today's weather was quite mild.
Еще это потеплело.
It's warm now.
This is warm.
Ну,
Тепло
еще
даже?
потеплело, ну.
Yeah, it's warm now.
Suppose if you're used to minus 60, minus 55 temperatures, and then you get to like minus 40, even though I'd be freezing, you'd sort of get used to it and you'd think, oh, this isn't as cold, it's mild today. But yes, I mean, Jesus, it's freezing. Well, it's minus 40 below freezing.
The locals say it's truly cold when it dips below minus 50, when blood stops flowing to exposed skin and frostbite sets in.
Ну, самое плохое в холоде, когда ты
The worst thing here is that you can underestimate the cold, and you're not realizing when your parts of your body are frozen.
не знаешь, когда
And you know what? The end of your nose is going.
Is it?
Yeah,
Right.
it's going a waxy colour.
Okay, well that's not good.
No, it isn't.
I better get back in the car.
Yeah,
Okay.
no
Yeah, it actually looks white, doesn't it? It looks really white.
kidding. It is. It's gone all white.
All right, thanks for coming. Okay. We hurried to our accommodation. There are no hotels, and a local family agreed to put us up. The native Yakuts have distinctive Asiatic features and live, much as they've done, for centuries.
А это что было?
Next to the woodpile is an ice pile. Ice blocks are melted inside for fresh water.
Tamara, you've lived here all your life. It must be a very hard existence.
Ну, есть свои определенные трудности, конечно, но...
Yes, there are difficulties in anyone's life, but it's good here. If I had a choice to live anywhere in the world, it would be here.
Tamara, in your lifetime, what's the cold?
I mean, yeah, fair play to her. But then I wonder, does she know any different? Like, does she know what life's like in big cities, etc.? Because you just say, oh, I'd rather live here. But you don't have the things that come along with big cities. You don't have political pressure, you know, the 9-to-5 grind, the cost of living crisis is going through the roof. You've got the elements to combat, but it doesn't feel like the entire rest of life is dragging you down. But maybe she's onto something.
Coldest day you've experienced?
64.
When I was a little girl, it was minus 68 one day. It's never been as cold since then.
Вот такие.
One of the many day-to-day hardships of living in a place like this, aside from the temperature, and this morning it's minus 54, beauty, is the complete lack of running water. These places have no pipes. I mean, apart from the money, it'd be no good putting them in anyway because
Yeah, I mean, you would, yeah, because they'd just be burst, cracked, they're frozen. Never really thought about that, running water being a problem.
the water would freeze instantly. And that means there's no showers and no baths, which is not so bad.
Well, could you not, on the inside, could you not just freeze, what? I was going to say freeze the water. My brain today. Could you not melt the water, sort of make it warm, and then have a indoor shower?
In these conditions. But that means there's also no
By indoor shower, I mean actually pouring it on you to have a shower.
flushing toilet, which leads me to this.
No flushing toilets, yeah. I remember Idiot Abroad, where Carl Pilkington was in Alaska, I think it was, and there was a service where it helped to go around and basically deliver buckets, and the buckets was used to hold crap, basically. People were crapping in buckets. So yeah, I mean, that's not ideal, is it? I don't know if I would like to be sitting there crapping into a bucket.
Now, The old-fashioned thunderbox is fine.
He said Dunderbox or Thunderbox.
If you're in outback Australia, but
It wouldn't. It wouldn't be fine. You know why it wouldn't be fine? Because you think, oh, it's not cold. That's perfectly fine. Oh, look, there's a giant pissing spider in the corner. Or, worse still, there's a small one, but it's like a black widow. I can't remember what it's called. The small ones that kill you. Or a snake, or God knows. Or even one of them kangaroos that's standing outside with the claws like that. Yeah, so, in the outback Australia, nah. It might be warm, but absolutely not. I'd rather be freezing my nuts off, semi-naked in that there, than be in Australia.
let me tell you, when you're in the coldest part of the world and nature calls in the middle of the night, you have to come and get your kit off. Well, that's something else.
Oymyakon is only 700 metres above sea level and is well below the Arctic Circle. But the reason it's so cold is a unique function of geography. There's no ocean nearby to moderate the extreme conditions. And it's deep in a frigid valley.
The Valley of the Jolly Green Giants.
And sitting in the bottom of this valley, all the cold air tends to accumulate. And that combination of factors adds up to the coldest inhabited town on Earth. The people who live here, I think there are certain common factors. I haven't seen any tall people here. And that makes physiological sense because it minimises the amount of surface area they have to lose heat from. It's the same as the Yakut horses. They're short, squat creatures.
Yakut horses have adapted so well, they stay outdoors 24/7.
Their one weak spot is that the ice accumulates on their backs.
Not surprised.
So they have to de-ice them.
De-ice the horse.
Every month or so in winter, farmers round them up for a procedure you'd see nowhere but here.
So they've got these really thick combs to scrape the ice off.
Sergey, what do they use these horses for?
Mainly for meat.
For meat?
For meat.
Horse meat, morning, noon and night.
Not sure I'd like to eat horse meat morning, noon and night, but then I wouldn't like to eat chicken morning, noon and night, to be honest, or fish morning, noon and night, or any other meat morning, noon and night.
We'll get pretty bored of it by the end.
But I wouldn't want to be a vegan either. So each their own, I say.
Liam,
Stick your nose in this, Liam.
below -50, this trick effect is supposed to work.
Another day in the deep freeze, and it was cold enough for Nick to try some experiments he'd read about studying geography.
Go on then.
This is boiling water. I've taken it just off the stove. You can see the steam.
Yeah.
Right? You watch. I'm going to throw the water up into the air. Right? Ready?
Yep.
Hot.
How good is that?
It's amazing, isn't it? It just immediately freezes in the atmosphere and turns to snow, plus a bit of residual steam. It's
I have seen that before. It's pretty amazing.
extraordinary, isn't it?
It's amazing.
Washing presents some interesting effects in this part of the world, Liam. And now, stand
I'm assuming that's hot water because I wouldn't want to be sticking my fingers in that if it's -50, to be honest.
up and swing it round your head.
Swing it around my head.
Swing it round your head, please. A bit longer.
Ole, 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 ole.
All we're effectively doing is speeding up the process of hanging it on the line.
Oh, okay.
Okay, stop now. See what effect you've got. Look at that.
Apparently, some mothers find that teenage sons have dried the socks using a similar method.
Look at
You were
that.
doing that for about 10 seconds. And now look at it.
That is amazing. Look.
I've never tried this, but you're supposed to be able to split it down the middle quite easily. So, yeah,
What,
try that.
Your favourite T-shirt.
Yeah, yeah. It's an old one. Yeah, look at that.
Oh,
But nothing illustrated the deep freeze better than Nick's final party trick.
I left a couple of bananas out last night. Have you ever seen a nail hammered in with a banana?
I can honestly say no.
Possibly not. Okay.
I have once, but I think it was... Is it liquid nitrogen or something where someone put a banana in and then it sort of shattered? They were trying to hammer something with it and it shattered? I'm not sure.
Totally ridiculous, and yet
Look at that.
totally effective.
Look at that. You leave me off there, Nick.
The thing that struck me most about this place was that no matter how frigid the weather, the townsfolk just grin and bear it. On the coldest day of our journey, the local reindeer herder offered to take us to see his best mate, a fisherman named Igor.
On Dancer, on Prancer, on Blitzen and Vixen.
Because the whole town grew up on a place where reindeer herders used to spend the night next to the river.
It's a highly unusual way to go fishing, though.
The reindeer dropped us at the local river, where Igor was already making holes in the ice. At minus 54, the frostbite hazard on exposed skin is serious. And the fisherman noticed my nose had turned white again.
His nose. I don't know what's wrong with his nose. Get it covered, man.
Well, he's saying your nose is frozen.
Right. I'll cover up.
Oh, yeah.
The method is ingenious.
Where does the net run to?
Goes to that hole.
Over there.
Yeah.
2 holes about 5 metres apart, with a net slung under the ice between them. Igor rarely goes home without a bucket full of fish.
Ooh. Oh, here we go.
Bare hands too. Come on then, fishy boy.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Well done. Brilliant.
Igor, you beauty.
Nature provides in abundance here.
Look at that. Oh, and another one. Gosh, you're getting lots.
The local legend has it that when God was creating the earth, he got so cold that his hands went numb and he dropped the lot in Oymyakon.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Frozen solid. Already, look.
Today being 54 below, school kids missed out on a day off by just 1 degree. If it's minus 55, the school says it's too dangerous to leave home.
You've got to have limits. You know, you give an inch, you take a mile. You've got to have limits.
The children farewelled us from Oymyakon with a dance and warned us not to come back when the weather warms up. It gets to plus 35 in the summer months, and apparently it's unbearable.
I can imagine 35 would be unbearable. It's about 28 today in the northwest of the UK, and it's really hot and humid. It's the humidity in the UK that gets here. And only certain places have got aircon, like homes don't tend to have air conditioning. I can imagine for these people it'd be even worse because it's a massive swing between minus 70 degrees and plus 35 degrees. That'd be unbearable.
In summer, it gets very hot. It gets very swampy when everything melts. The air is full of mosquitoes and black fly, and it's an extremely unpleasant place. I wouldn't like to live here. I don't think I could.
I mean, the winter, yeah, it's freezing, it's hard, but I'd rather that condition than being for my plus 35 and just being eaten by mosquitoes all the time. Winter sounds better than summer, to be honest.
Live here, actually, both for those climatic conditions and also the remoteness and that combination, that package. Don't think I could do it.
It's hard yards, isn't it?
Very hard life.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think? Would you, well, I won't suppose would you live there, but would you like to visit somewhere like that? I think I would. I would like to do it just to experience the elements. You know, like the -50. I think the lowest I've been was Riga in Latvia, which was about -12, -13. It was cold, but nothing like that. So yeah, I kind of envy them. I envy them the cold at the moment because it's really hot. Anyway, you take care wherever you are, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.